are back with another video. Before we get into the video, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So it looks like Cardi B is taking L after L. Cardi B unfortunately dropped 14 spots on Payola, while Nicki Minaj, Gorilla Glue, and Megan Thee Stallion have moved up on Payola, despite her calling her peers flops. Then she also is begging for her fans to buy the song, and she posted the tracking week countdown, which has iTunes and Amazon and all the different links on how you can buy the song, because she is desperate and she doesn't want it to flop. And allegedly she is begging Titanic Records to give her some radio or payola, so that way the song doesn't debut in the, I think, top 80 on the Hot 100 like it's been predicted. Now, with that being said, fans are also begging Cardi B to change a few of her lyrics. Our Cardi B fan said, "Cardi, you might need to replace some lines in that song." Now, the line they are begging her to replace is when she said, "My flop and your flop are not the same. If I did y'all numbers, I would jump off a plane." And it looks like she gonna be needing a jet to jump off of, because bitch, you're doing those numbers that you was just dragging, okay? Now, my whole thing is, now fans are begging you to change lines. This is embarrassing. They're begging her to change lines that she didn't even write. Partisan Fontaine has a writing credit on the song. She did not write that song. Y'all are so delusional. Partisan Fontaine probably set Cardi B up, low-key. I think he might have set her up. Now, Cardi B fans are just desperate. Now they're begging for an Imaginary Faces remix. Oh my goodness. The desperation is tired. This is really tired. Y'all was just quoting the flop line, but now y'all want the flops to hop on the remix, okay? Scratch Off is a flop, okay? Nobody hasn't charted. She hasn't charted since what? Put It in the Trash, the remix, because the original didn't really chart. And y'all can say, oh, well, Side Chick Mama charted, whatever that song was called, and that charted for like 1 week. We're talking about consistently charting. None of these girls, except maybe D0JA Cat, consistently chart when they put out their own music. Even Gorilla Glue, she released music this year, didn't chart. Megan released music, it didn't chart. I think D0JA Cat, we'll see how Jealous Type do. So we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt. But most of her collaborations this year didn't chart. So why would y'all want Cardi B to collaborate with the flops? Y'all said that her flops and their flops wasn't the same. I don't understand why y'all would want the flops to collaborate with Cardi B, because they doing the same thing as Ice Spice and JT, in my opinion. So I just feel like the desperation is just unbearable. Okay, the desperation is unbearable. Now, moving on to Megan Thee Stallion. Allegedly, Megan will respond to Cardi B's disses. Some fans feel like she wasn't dissing Megan Thee Stallion, but it kind of applies. If you talk in numbers and Megan Thee Stallion don't do the numbers every time she drops, you kind of subliminally shading her too. And if you guys have peeped, the Megan Thee Stallion fans and Cardi B fans have been going back and forth on social media. A Cardi B fan said Cardi's one single made more noise than Ice Spice's entire album, Megan's both albums, JT's entire discography, Bia's entire discography, Sweetie's Pots and Pans. Oh my goodness. Why Sweetie always gotta catch a stray? Oh, I forgot she slept with Cardi B's husband, which technically everybody slept with Off the Cheese. So I don't know why the Cardi B fans always go after Sweetie. Why don't y'all ever go after Krishan Rock or Ari Fletcher? They gave, Off the Cheese some coochie too, because Ari Fletcher and Krishan Rock, they can fight and beat up Cardi B easily. But with that being said, a Megan Thee Stallion fan responded and said, Boa and Whenever had more streams than your lead single, Bye. So they've been going back and forth for a while now. And listen, I've been telling y'all that Megan and Cardi B really don't fool with each other like that. It's all a facade because they both have one common enemy. Well, they got a few common enemies, but the biggest enemy is Nicki Minaj. Okay? But they both don't like JT. They don't like Ice Spice. But their biggest enemy is Onika Tanya Mirage. Now, Ice Spice is also planning on clapping back at Cardi B because Ken Barbie posted Ice Spice and quoted one of Partisan Fontaine's lyrics and said, quicker they lift up, the quicker they fall down. Poor thing. Twitter must be gassing them heavy, making them jump in the ring with the brim before they ready. Now, this comes after Ice Spice kind of dissed Cardi B and BB Belt, if you guys remember. Didn't she say in BB Belt, I'm thick, but I don't got a waist. Think she pretty, but she changing her face. Falling behind like Beware, pick up the pace. It was funny until I took her place. Okay, so let me know how y'all feel about this. Do you think Ice Spice will be able to clap back at Cardi B when she drops her song and diss her just like, Cardi B just did on her record? I don't know. I feel like I would rather see Megan, B, and JT get in the ring with Cardi B versus Ice Spice because I know that they would eat her up. Ice Spice, that bar on BB Belt, it was, a good bar, but it's not really a long-lasting song where people go back and re-listen to. I think JT will easily eat Cardi B up, and so will Megan Thee Stallion. Ice Spice, I'm not too sure about that. Now, people are calling Ashley, Queen B's former dance captain, bitter because she went and did, I don't know if this was an interview, but basically people felt like she was coming off cocky or arrogant by talking about how she turned down going on the Cowboy Carter World Tour.
And they were like, the team, like, she's doing a Christmas performance and she wants her girl there. Yeah. She said she wants Ashley. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. Like, thanks guys, like whatever. And obviously I'm not like, it's not that I don't like work with her and I will never work with her again. I'm just not like touring and doing like long-term things that are taking me away from other things that I've now built for myself, Yeah. So I was like, okay, like it was a short gig and just like a one-off performance. Of course I was like, yeah, totally down. Let's do it.
Now, in my opinion, I think the real reason why Ashley does not want to dance for Queen Bee anymore is because she knows she's not going to be the captain or the lead choreographer anymore. I don't think she outright quit, okay? Because here's my thing. You ain't got nothing going on, sis. You talking about other business ventures and stuff. Like, what business ventures? Nobody knows what you have going on. People only know you for being Beyonce's backup dancer. Okay? You are not that poppin' where you have like your own type of company or whatever that people know about. You probably have your own company, but many people don't know about it. So why are you trying to act like you're on to bigger and better things? That's my whole thing. Like, girl, please stop. You know damn well you just not going to be the lead choreographer anymore. The dances that you came up with are probably tired, and Queen Bee is up to bigger and better things. So stop the cap. So unfortunately, Doja Cat is getting sabotaged. The chart obsessed, Queen Taylor has announced that she will be dropping her lead single the same day as Doja. Oh my goodness. Damn, why couldn't she do it the same day as Cardi B? I guess she always got to sabotage the white woman. First, it was Olivia Rodrigo. She sabotaged Charlie XCX Big Billy, and now D0JA Badu. Oh my goodness, this is not a good look. And Doja Cat is coming back to pop. Wow. She couldn't have spared Doja Cat. I mean, goodness gracious, the chart obsessed racist is greedy. She saw Doja Cat coming back and she felt away. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the chart obsessed racist was like, I'm the only person that's gonna get a pop hit around this bitch. That's what it's given. Like, why did you have to sabotage Doja? Now, it has been reported that Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2 has moved over 70 spots on the US Apple Music. A lot of her songs have been rising on the charts. Some are saying that it's rising because she's not on station head anymore. That could be the case. I don't see the correlation to that though, because she's been on station head for a while. But with that being said, Pink Friday 2, I always liked that album. You know, I forgot what I gave it out of a 10, but I thought it was a really good album. I think the beef with her and Megan distracted a lot of people, and that's why people started calling it trash. But if you listen to the album throughout, there's a lot of hits on that album. Of course, Republic and Universal just didn't push anything on the album. Okay, they didn't push anything on the album. Of course, not doing a music video or having any heavy promotion kind of made people view it in a different light. But I always said I thought Pink Friday 2 was a really good album. Now, it has been an update on the Tory Lanez case in regards to his appeal. Judges heard that Tory Lanez fingerprints did not match the gun and that the serial number was never ever traced to the real owner. Prosecutors hid this from the defense, and it looks like a lot of fans are speculating that he can get his sentence reversed. Wow, wow, wow. Now, in my opinion, shouldn't the prosecutors or Megan Thee Stallion go to jail for lying? I mean, how can prosecutors hide information and not get in trouble for that? Isn't that illegal? I mean, you know, I may not know much because I'm not a criminal attorney, but I feel like, isn't that illegal to hide evidence like that? Or is that just what, you know, prosecutors and police officers do? In my opinion, I feel like either Kelsey, Megan Thee Stallion, or the prosecutors need to go to jail if they falsely had this black man in jail for years. And then also Tory should sue Devil Nation and, you know, the LAPD for $10 million. I'm sorry. You know, that should be illegal to do. I knew it was Kelsey from the start. Okay, I said it was Kelsey from the very beginning. And somebody got to pay. So we'll see. Hopefully Tory can make it home safely. But if I was him, I would not even come back to the U.S. I would stay in Toronto and only, you know, do music in Toronto. Only because if he come to L.A., Devil Nation coming for you. But the thing is, though, I feel like Tory never had good lawyers. And that's why he really is in jail. Because ASAP, the colorist, Young Thug, they beat their cases. They had really bad cases, especially Thug. He had a RICO. And I understand you had Devil Nation against you. Okay? That's a big entity. But I also feel like Tory did not have the proper lawyers, and that's one of the reasons why he lost. Because ain't no way you didn't have DNA on the GUN. And also, and the GUN may not be even yours. And mind you, that's what he really got charged for. And yet, you still go to jail. That's crazy. Now, moving on from that, it looks like SZA's SOS officially becomes the first album by a female artist in history to spend 100 weeks in the top 10 on Billboard 200 album chart. So congratulations to SZA. Am I shocked? Not really, because I've always said that I do believe that SZA's album SOS is a classic. So congratulations to the princess of R&B. I definitely think that she is the top contender for being the queen of R&B. I mean, who else would be in that conversation? Okay, Mary no longer has the title for Queen of R&B. because she ain't released no hits in the last decade. So if you don't release a hit in the last decade, you can't be the queen of anything. It's just like Lil' Kim can't be the queen of hip hop or rap if you ain't got no hits. So that's why, unfortunately, Queen Mary, that title no longer belongs to her. But I definitely feel like SZA definitely deserves that title. So let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Now, unfortunately, Katy Perry's team is going to have to receive 50,000 lashings. She got electrocuted while she was on stage. She's currently on tour. And it seems as though Katy got a snake in the camp because it feels as though she's always getting sabotaged. I think she got a secret hater in the camp. Now, here is the list of all the incidents Katy Perry has went through during her tour. She nearly fell from a giant ball prop, nearly plummeted from a floating butterfly prop, electric shock, a fan collapsed on stage, laser pointed at the singer, fan crashed the stage, tripped and slipped on the stage. Okay, so she's went through quite a few things during this tour. I think she got a secret hater in the camp. Somebody's actively sabotaging Katy Perry, because how do you have all these accidents? Okay. And then on top of that, you basically had a breakup on tour too. You always going through a breakup during tour. I noticed that. I noticed Katy can't keep a man. Didn't Russell, whatever that creepy man she was married to, he broke up with her on tour. She on tour again. Orlando Bloom left her. It's just not looking good for Katy Perry. Maybe somebody put a spell on her. She better go ask for forgiveness from the chart obsessed. Queen Taylor. It seems as though a spell or some juju got on you, because you haven't had a good year at all. And your last album flopped. So, pray for Katy. Now, moving on from that, Champagne Thickums amends his lawsuit against Universal. He decided to add Devil Nation, the NFL Paolified, TikTok, John Janik, Apple, Amazon, Complex, and more into his defamation lawsuit. Now, some people are saying, oh, Devil Nation been in the lawsuit, but how comes he hasn't subpoenaed anyone from Devil Nation? He subpoenaed people from Kung Fu Kenny's camp, people at Universal, but he hasn't subpoenaed anybody at Devil Nation, which is really interesting. But that could possibly change. My whole thing is this. If people like the record, you can't fault them for liking the record. Okay? Just like people like Family Disasters and you was calling Kung Fu Kenny a woman beater and that his child wasn't his. People like that record. You can't fault people for liking the diss record and taking the opportunity to work with Kung Fu Kenny. Okay? Because that's what's always going to happen when somebody has a hot song, whether it's a diss or not. Okay? That's just how I feel about it. But anyway, I got some very hot tea on Pamela Anderson, Liam Neeson, Queen Taylor and Jack Anof's issues, and also the Lana and Ethel Cain beef on Patreon. Link will be in the description. Have a great day.